everyone, welcome to back my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before starting the video, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button. At the GTAC, Phyllis thinks Summer seems tired and rundown. She insists she's okay. Phyllis asks about Harrison. Summer says he's actually doing pretty well. She's keeping an eye on him. She's still on edge. Phyllis says she would be too. Summer explains they're keeping Harrison out of school one more day and Kyle's spending time with him. She just wants to go back to normal. Phyllis says it will take time. Summer complains that her son keeps asking about Claire. Phyllis says that from what she heard, Claire was a victim too. Summer warns her mother not to side against her on this. Phyllis balks. She just heard Claire wasn't to blame. Summer says that in her mind, Claire will never be innocent. Never. Summer can't understand why Kyle has so much sympathy for Claire. She is, in her own way, responsible for what happened. She was Jordan's front woman. Phyllis points out Jordan was the psycho and would have found her way there with or without Claire. Summer argues Claire was a willing accomplice who poisoned almost the entire Newman family. What does that say about her level of psychosis? How are they supposed to know that she can't get there again? At Chancellor Park, Victoria tells Claire that Catherine was an icon and her godmother. Claire wants to know all about her and everything she's missed over the years. Victoria assures her they have all the time in the world. Claire confesses she's been thinking of getting a job of her own now that Jordan's dead. She thinks her mother should get back to work too. Victoria tells Claire that she's her #1 priority. They will also spend time with the kids when they get home from school, and they can even get a hold of Reed and include him in the adventure. She wants to get to know the daughter she never got to know. Claire thinks she must miss work. Victoria always looked up to her father and loved the idea of running Newman, but these past few months have given her perspective. She has a different purpose now and needs no office drama. I think that maybe you're trying to push me out of the next because you're actually ready to fly yourself. At the Abbott mansion, Kyle calls out for Harrison as Diane comes down the stairs. She's glad to hear him sounding happy. He guesses she's still upset about his dad being gone all night the other night. He's put together that the friend he was helping was Nikki, which is why Victor came over there all upset. Diane assures him she doesn't think Jack cheated on her with Nikki, but what he did was bad, maybe even worse. Once Kyle is in the loop on Jack falling off the wagon, Diane says she's not just upset, she's furious. It's outrageous. She can't stop thinking about what could have happened. Kyle guesses he can see where she's coming from, to an extent. Diane rants, to an extent? His father risked everything, and he thought of nothing and no one but Nikki. Kyle figures his dad saw no other way to deal with it. Diane hollers that he mixed pills with booze. He could have died, and it was incredibly selfish. Kyle doesn't think it was selfish. Diane yells that he has a family who loves and needs him. How would he have felt if he died in some athletic club suite? What he did was selfish. Kyle can see how what Jack did came from the right place. Diane scoffs at this. Kyle recaps how they just went through hell because of Jordan. If he'd seen her going into that hotel, there is nothing that could have stopped him from charging in there. Diane argues that it's different. Harrison wasn't dangerous, Nikki was drunk, and not for the first time, I might add. She wasn't in immediate danger and Jack overreacted. Kyle is just saying he understands his motivation to act quickly. Diane fumes that they could be planning his father's funeral right now just because he had to save Nikki Newman. Kyle senses jealousy and asks, "Don't you know how much Dad loves you?" Diane flips at the idea she's jealous of Nikki. Kyle says it's his father's perception of the moment that matters. Diane hollers that Nikki has her own family to come to her rescue. Kyle asks if she'd have Jack turn his back on her. Diane says turning his back and risking his life are two different things. Kyle points out they're all safe and his father is unlikely to take pills again. Can't they just appreciate the moment? Diane wonders if she's supposed to just forget about this, because an addict promises he'll never take pills again, or does Kyle just enjoy taking the contrary position to hers? It's like you won't even try to see things from my perspective. Victor walks into society and spots Jack at a table. He ignores him and walks to the bar. Jack approaches him and wants to know how Nikki's doing. Victor tells him it's none of his damn business.